Okay.
So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this post-match press conference with Team South Africa. As before, please do raise your hand very clearly when you want to ask a question, and do wait for the microphone because we have simultaneous interpretation as before. So, delighted to welcome to my right, Coach Jacques Nienaber.
Well done.
And to his right, Captain Zia Kolosi.
Well done.
Okay, so let's go to questions, please. One at the front. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. Hi, Jacques. Nice to hear. Well done. About outcome, result today, then overall performance, was it just about getting the job done?
Yeah, look, this was a slippery one, I think, for us. You know, you play the number 5 team in the world ranked, and they deserve it. And we all could see what they were doing in their warm-up games and how they pushed France and the big teams that they've won in the lead-up to this World Cup. So for us, it was always going to be a slippery one, and we knew it's going to be a grind. But I think at the end of the day, if you look at history, it's probably, I think last time we played them, the scoreline was, or the point deficit was, or differential was 15 points, and I think it was 15 today again, if I'm not mistaken. So that's normally, history shows that, but they're a tough team that will stick in there and grind, and we knew it's going to be a grind.
Thank you. Second row, please.
Jacques, first one, given the extent of his injury, shoulder injury?
Yes, to be honest, I'll lie. I haven't even spoken to the doc. It will probably be something that will be assessed tomorrow. In the game, they said it's a shoulder, and that's why it came off. But I mean, I will speculate in terms of the extent of it. I've got no clue.
I suspect there's quite a few sore bodies. Any other injuries or players that you're worried about?
Again, I haven't discussed. Normally, the process after a game like this is the doc and the medical team will start working with the guys. Now it takes obviously a couple of minutes to assess them thoroughly, and they're probably only now halfway through the team.
Thank you. Second row. Thanks.
Jacques, thoughts on the Boks effort on defence?
Yeah, obviously, defence this is kind of beautiful for me. So I think, and all credit to Scotland. You know, they're a team that play with great speed, and they've got good innovation in terms of how they attack. So we had to be really, really sharp in terms of trying to cut off all their options. You know, they can create something miraculous out of nothing, and so we credit to the players. There was a lot of hard work off the field, but also on the field tonight to make sure that they try and keep them at bay. And it's a tough. It took a lot.
Thank you. Second row over here, please.
Jacques, could I ask you about the traffic light system, sort of without giving away sort of any.
Yep.
Without giving away any secrets, what sort of thing are you communicating, and how does it work?
No. Listen. In terms of the lights, I don't know. It started here probably when we played France in Marseille, and I don't know if you've been pitch side or close pitch side. I mean, with this dome, the sound is phenomenal. So you can't hear people. So our main thing is for us, because there's a lot of channels and working and talking, I mean, it's tough for us to sometimes talk to our support staff. So I think a lot of teams will have systems where is it the red, is it the green, or whatever, what's the extent of the injury. and or the knock or the how seriousness and yeah, that's just for us to communicate, yeah, with the support staff.
Thank you. Second row, please.
Question to Sia, sorry, not related to the game. I'll tell you that last month at the Athletics World Championship, there was a conversation of a few African journalists from not rugby countries, Ethiopia, Kenya, and they speak of you as one of the most important people in Africa, not athletes, people. How do you deal with this enormous pressure around your personality?
The thing is, I don't see myself like that. For me, I try and narrow that to just my kids and my brother and sister. That's who I want to be a role model for. And yeah, and that's how I see it, you know, because if I see myself as a giant, then, you know, it's not going to take me anywhere. I'll get it big-headed, and especially around the team, we have no ego policy, you know. The team is far bigger than the individual. I'm nothing without the team. So that's really important. That's why I'm so grateful for coaches, and especially Coach Rassi and Jaco know me since I was young. Whenever my head gets a little big, they pop it for me. So some of the players too also tell me when I'm getting too big for myself, and I really enjoy that. And I think it's important, you know, everything. You as a person, you need to be a human being before anything else, you know, and that's how I like try and live and carry myself. And we come from a nation where you think of we before I, and I think that makes it easy for me just to keep grounded.
Thank you. Just pass the microphone behind, please. Thank you.
Sia, one for you as well. Scotland, I think, won 2 scrum penalties right at the end of the first half, and of course Finn put over that penalty. You came out in the second half and immediately won another one back. What was said at half-time around the scrums? Was anything said at half-time?
Yeah, of course. It was quite clear. We didn't start the way we normally start, the intensity that we wanted to bring. That's a big thing about us. Good start, bad start, it doesn't matter. Intensity should be there, and that wasn't up to standard for us. And the conversations are clear, and anything that they say to us, we already know because we think the same. So we just told ourselves we gotta be better. It's as simple as that, because set piece is important, and that's why we came out there with that kind of energy.
Thank you, gentlemen. There, please. Thank you for your patience.
Sia, it's not about the match, but what do you think about
the microphone?
Anthem with children?
Please speak into the microphone,
The
please.
anthem with children. The anthem.
Is it in
Speak.
French?
You understand?
Yeah, what do I think about the anthems?
Yes.
Anthems are fine. We barely hear anyway because we sing so loud. Our voices are so horrible. That's what we hear. And I think our focus is not on that. Our focus is to all I'm thinking about. I'm singing the anthem is what's the next job? What do we gotta do? So I've got no complaint. I got the energy that I needed out of the anthem, you know. So and the people. There was a lot of green and gold jerseys out there. We could hear them loud and clear, so it was special.
Thank you, gentlemen. There, please raise your hands. Orange. And then you next.
Question for Jacques. Many missed free kicks today before Faf took charge of it. Is this lack of success a concern for you for the rest of the competition?
Not if he wins man of the match.
If he doesn't?
Not if he wins man of the match.
Thank you. Then 2 behind. The gentleman with his hand up. Thank you. And then you at behind. Thank you.
Hi, Jacques. Can I just ask you how this win affects your planning and perception of how the rest of the games in the pool, and in particular that game in 13 days' time against Ireland?
Yeah, I think the first thing is maybe to go back a step to the warm-up games. And the warm-up games is warm-up games. I think we saw that with France's performance. I think we saw that with England's performance. So everybody read a lot in warm-up games. Our game against New Zealand, it's got no bearing, there's no pressure. It's a warm-up game, it's to prepare you for a World Cup. So, but this is the real thing, and there is a lot of pressure in World Cup. So I think in terms of us, this was a slippery one for us, like I mentioned before. You play number 5 in the world. They have the ability to knock off anyone on the day. So for us, it's the first step in the right direction. To get out of the pool is going to be massive. We knew that. And our next focus is literally Romania. we need to make sure that we won't even think about Ireland. The only thing I will look at Ireland is obviously Romania playing against Ireland. So we won't even think about Ireland in 13 days' time. It's Romania and Romania alone, and obviously then the opportunities and the stuff that we got wrong tonight, we need to fix that before we can go further.
Thank you.
Jock, sorry, I just want to, on Mani's question with the kicking, like from a player's point of view, you know, this question gets asked quite a lot when he misses kicks. Like, we play as a team, and sometimes you're not good at one thing on the day, but the way he attacked today, the way he took control of the team, how he is a general amongst us, people forget that and they remember the stuff that he does. Faf can kick, Chelsea can kick, there's a lot of guys that we can call upon. So if someone is lacking somewhere, somebody else takes over. It's the same as me. Sometimes I don't know what to call in the game. Dwayne will call, Eben will call, or Mani makes a call. So if someone is lacking somewhere, somebody else picks up for them. So he's not going to be good at everything every single day. You know, there's sometimes some fly off, you have to hide them, they can't tackle. He tackles there with us. So you can't have everything on the day. Sometimes you lack somewhere. That's why we work together. We don't stress about it. If he misses it, next time we go. It's the same as a throw. If you throw a stupid throw, you don't do it intentionally. So we're working as a group. We work together, and he has confidence in us. And when Faf has to kick, nobody stresses. We move on because he's going to be, maybe he's good on the day.
Thank you.
Oh, amigo.
Thank you. Gentleman right at the back, please. Thank you for your patience.
Jacques.
Jacques, just to go back to the traffic lights for a moment, can you explain a little bit further? You mentioned this decisions
On injuries, but is it also tactics? Is it penalty kicks at the posts or line out?
No.
And also, did you have to get permission from World Rugby to do it?
No, I don't think. I think communication. You can do hand signals if you want. No, I don't think you need any permission from World Rugby. Like I say, it's a method. I was at Munster and the calls were read if it's a serious thing that we must consider a substitution. Amber is, listen, let's give this guy 5 or 10 minutes to see if he's okay. And green is, listen, it's okay. We can go on. So it's something we used at Munster in 2016-17, and it's just something that we continue with. It's just an easy way without, you can think if we talk on the radio, we want to talk tactics. So to talk to medical people about injuries just consumes the channels. So it's just an easy way to get them to get in our heads. Does it make sense?
But nothing tactical at all?
No.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Time for 2 more questions. I think gentleman with the microphone there, please.
Yeah, you spoke of intensity, and it was visible to us that there was a big jump in intensity after halftime, in the first 15 minutes after halftime. But in terms of being on the pitch, how do you assess whether intensity is at the right level or not? Or how do you communicate that it needs to go up in real time?
Well, we feel in how we hit in the scrum, how our maul is working, how hard are we getting up, how quickly are we getting off our feet, and what are we doing? Are we tackling and are we staying on the ground? Are we having second efforts? That's the kind of intensity we're talking about, you know. And I think in the first half, we didn't feel it, and it took long. And then when we got in the second half, it was just a mental switch as a group from the first scrum. We said, we got to bring in, it's all 8. And it's just about how many times are you going to get up and do something, and how many battles are you going to get involved in. That's what we get checked on. When I'm tired and I can't anymore, like today, they could see, they're like, okay, he must go now. And that's the thing about our team. You don't wait. You just give everything. And sometimes in the first half, I say, I can't anymore. And that's why in the last 2 games, I got taken off so early. So that's why intensity is so important. Put yourself in battles over and over again until you can't, because the guy that's on the bench that's waiting to go is probably going to do it better than you when you're at 70%.
Thank you. Last question, the gentleman here, please. Raise your hand. Thank you.
Gregor Thompson was there before you. You think your offensive game is better than 4 years ago in Japan? What do you think about?
Our offensive attacking game.
Offensive game, yeah.
Yeah. I think the key thing for us after 2019 is, and I've said it the other day, I think rugby has changed a little bit. You must still be able to, with a defensive game and a good kicking game and a good territory game, you must be able to grind out a win. But I think if you look at France last night, if you look at England, they did it in a different way. But you need to be able to score points. And I think that's the difference maybe between 2019 and 2023. But this is only knockouts. This is only pool stages. If you look at the history of World Cups, the knockout stages, if you go statistically, it differs quite a lot from the knockouts. So I can't tell you what knockouts will look like. But if you look at the big games like European Cup final, if you look at the top 14 final, if you look at the Premiership final, if you look at the Japan final, where some of our players play, the teams that win those big final games, they had the ability to score points. So I think where we could grind it out in 2019 with let's say a 19-16 win against Wales in the semi-final, you might still need it in knockouts. That's why I say I'm not 100% sure what it will look at in knockout rugby. But the difference for me when I look at the top competitions, and I know it's clubs, teams tend to score points.
Okay. Jacques Nenabert, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time. The mix zone will start in a couple of minutes, and good luck with the next game. Thank you.